everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I thought I would come and do a little scrappy crafting and chatting. Merry Christmas, by the way. It is Christmas Eve, and what spurred me to do this today is we're all home except for my husband, and I got a much earlier start than I was expecting because I could hear him rumbling around looking for something, and whenever my family can't find something, I always feel obligated to get up and help them, even though it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I generally know where everything is, and he is very much a creature of habit and wanted to wear this really nice wool red shirt that he likes to wear every Christmas. But he likes to also wear this thin, these thin razorback t-shirts underneath because the wool is warm and itchy, I guess. So anyway, he couldn't find those t-shirts, and I knew I had them packed away, so I got up and helped him look for them. Oh, I've got bad scissors here. I might have to get up and get another pair. But anyway, I helped him look for them, and wouldn't you know, in the like zipper bags that I was searching through, guess what I found? I found a bag of snippets, and I don't even know how they ended up in there, but they were all in the blues and whites. So it must have been back when I was making that blue and white fabric journal, fabric and lace journal. But anyway, all those snippets were in there, and I was up earlier than I intended to be, so I said, you know what, I'm going to see what I can do with all of these little scraps. That has been a goal of mine lately, is to try and use up all of my snippets and scraps, which is not possible. There's just too many of them. But like I said, I get myself overwhelmed and almost feel like throwing them in the trash. And so after I helped my husband find the undershirts he was looking for, I sat down and started thinking about what I would do with them, and I decided to alter a box. I was at my sister's yesterday, and she gave me an old iPhone box, and rather than store it away, I decided I would alter it, because this could actually be a gift box for something I'm giving my niece. So I pulled out, the only thing I pulled out were a few decorative papers, and I know I made this too big, but I'll just trim some of this off. So if you'd like to sit with me and chat for a little bit, yeah, my husband's the only one that had to work today. Like I said, it's Christmas Eve, and he is training on just a little side job where you help people figure out discount prices for their prescriptions, and kind of help them work through the marketplace and find them at a lesser price. I think there's other things involved, and the training seems to be rather intense because they're kind of pushing them through the process quickly. So I guess they couldn't afford to let them have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, because there's lots to learn. My husband's very much, he loves being a student. He loves learning stuff. I can't say I join him in that, but anyway, that's where he is for a good part of the day, and so we will just enjoy the day until he gets home, and then we'll go to Christmas Eve service. And so I thought, I'm gonna craft something, and if you'd like to stick around and craft with me, we'll chat. I have this cup here, which is the cup I've been using this season. Can you see what it says? I just want to drink hot cocoa and watch Christmas movies. Well, this is actually my morning cup of coffee, and instead of sugar, I had fun and put a candy cane in there. I love peppermint mocha. That's really yummy. And so I'll just have my little cup of coffee. Maybe you can grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is you like. And we'll craft a little bit and see what we come up with, because this is a challenge for me. I pulled out a bunch of the stuff out of that bag, and it was really hard for me not to go hunt through the rest of my stuff and go, oh, this will go well with this. I have to stick to what was actually in the Scrappy bag, so it may not tie together as beautifully as I would want it to. The only thing I did pull out was these tiny little pearls, because they were easily accessible, and then these little parchment flowers, I think, or paper flowers. They just came in a little package that I ordered off Etsy, so I'm gonna maybe use those. But everything else off to the side here was in my little Scrappy Bits bag, and I'm gonna alter this box and see what we come up with. I have these beautiful papers from, this is a Tanya Whelan piece of paper that was tucked in the Happy Mail that I got from Ruby. Hello, sweet Ruby. Thank you again. I love these beautiful rose print pieces, and because I loved the Tanya Whelan paper so much, I actually kept eyeing the full paper pad on eBay for probably 2 weeks, and the price just kept going down and down and down, and then finally it went down enough where I felt comfortable ordering it. So I am the now proud owner of my own Tanya Whelan 12 by 12 paper pad. And I had mentioned in a couple of my other videos that I've been collecting floral print, vintage rose print type paper, and that I would come on and show you my paper haul, and I think I'll do that soon too. We're kind of off with not a lot of plans for the holidays, so I'm looking forward to crafting, and that means I'll come and do some videos with you, and hopefully you'll get time to do videos. I know the holidays can just be so busy. However, now that it's Christmas Eve, maybe the busy days are going to be behind us now. I'm planning to use this polka dot side, and so I'm going to cover this box with this paper and then start to embellish it. So it shouldn't take too long, but I'll go ahead and stick the paper on, and then we can embellish together. There's this really stubborn liner inside the box, and so I had to really work to get that out. I'm using my Fabri-Tac to put the paper against this box because the coating is kind of plasticky, and I thought if I use my hot glue it might not stay. And then of course I have one of those fancy little cutting machines that measures everything for you, but as you know, I don't like measuring, so I just used, I'm trying to lift this up and move it over a little bit, I just used the actual box itself to measure, and I don't even know, oh no, I pulled it too far that way. Oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on the inside here. So like I said, we're having a slow morning, probably earlier than I really wanted it to be. but it's actually been nice to have a quiet start. And depending on where you are in the country or in the world, your day is probably midway through. And we like to pretend that Santa is busy at work all over the world, getting those presents out to everybody. I love the magical feeling of Christmas and the make-believe world that you can enjoy. It is a wonderful time of year. I was with my sister last night though, and it has been very hard being our first Christmas without Mom. It's very fresh and very new. So much so that we don't really know what we're going to feel at any given moment. And I just talked to my brother, and he didn't put his tree up this year. He said no, because I bought that tree last year when Mom was here, and she was so thrilled with it that I just couldn't bear to put it up. I wish he had, but he didn't. And then my sister has a tree in her library that my mother loves to decorate every year because it faces out to the street. And she decorated that tree last year. So Karen, she puts up 3 trees, but this year they decided not to put the library tree up. They just couldn't do it. So I guess there's things like that that you just have to decide how you're going to deal with it at the time. And everyone has to deal with it in the way that's best for them. I'm trying to trim this off. Sorry, it's probably quite boring for you to watch this part. So I'm working with these pale silvery gray blue colors because those were the colors that were in that bag of snippets. And I don't really mind that these aren't cutting nice and pristine because I'm going for shabby anyway. And I may put some trim on the inner edge of this box anyway. Actually, I think I will. That'll tidy it up some. And I'm probably going to pause the camera here and go find some scissors that are worth using because these are not them. I wanted some with shorter tips so that I could get down into the nooks and crannies, but they're not cutting very sharp at all. And rather than put them away, I think I will toss them in the trash so I don't forget that they don't work well. So I've covered the inside and the outside, and I didn't do the edges of the inside box because these really fit rather tight. As a matter of fact, I might have to adjust it even a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and do this lid and my coffee. I've got some scissors that will actually work. Trying to decide. I like this thin lace, but like I said, I'm trying not to go into my stash. I want to use what was in that bag of snippets. So I'm going to trim this, this pretty piece of lace down. I think, oh, I know where I got this lace. They sell it on a bolt in the crafting wedding section, in the DIY wedding section at Walmart. That's where I got this from. And I thought it would be pretty to just put on the edges here. And that way you can still see the paper, but get that nice lacy look too. You know what? I think I'm going to use hot glue on here. Something I learned with this Fabri-Tac is it leaves a shiny residue And I noticed that even on that last junk journal that I made, I stuck everything down with Fabri-Tac, but anything that I lace covered, after it was dry, you could see the shininess underneath. I'm not sure, it might be the same way with hot glue, but let's try it and see. I'm going to move this and get some hot glue real quick. Ooh, that's hot, alright. Bear with me 1 second. This is a fairly cheap hot glue gun, and it's being a little stubborn. Okay, I'll glue that down. So that's what I was doing here, if you want to see. You know what? I don't think it's going to make much difference. Hot glue or Fabri-Tac, you can still see it through the lace. And because the hot glue is sort of lumpy and more textural, I think I'll stick with the Fabri-Tac. But I am going to embellish it quite a bit, so maybe that'll help cover up, excuse me, cover up some of the shiny glue. I'd use tacky glue because that, though it dries clear, it doesn't leave that shininess, but when you're doing it on camera, it doesn't stick fast enough. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I'll tell you, one of the things that's sort of a tradition for our family is on Christmas Eve. Maybe this isn't very nice, but we like to go to the mall and kind of shut the place down. We sit there and just kind of get a hot drink and watch people run around and do their last minute shopping. And people would probably think, why on earth would you want to do that? Well, we usually go to Christmas Eve service, and if we go to one early enough, when we get done, there's still time. And I like to kind of soak in the very last sights and sounds of the holiday, because everyone shuts Christmas down so fast right after Christmas Day. So to see the decorations in the mall or see them on the streets, your last chance is pretty much Christmas Eve. I don't dare go the day after Christmas. I really don't like the crowds the day after Christmas, and the discounts still aren't as deep as they will get. Things are pretty picked over, but there's some days where you can go to like CVS and Target a few days after Christmas, and the discounts are like almost 90% off. And even Michael's will do that. They'll literally put things 90% off. Last year I got this beautiful silk poinsettia potted plant that was $89, I think, original, but I got it a few days after Christmas for 90% off. And so this year I used those poinsettias as some of the little decorations on the branches of my Christmas tree. I didn't show you guys my Christmas tree. My camera on my phone, my brother got me a new phone, I don't know, a few months ago, and it's just a fluke. I don't know how it happened, but just the little round circle lens for the camera cracked. Everything else is fine, but it's almost like maybe something in my purse punctured it. I don't know. I do have a screensaver. I just don't know how that happened. So I'm saying all that because I like to record a lot when I do my little thrift store shopping or go to the craft stores. I like to make videos and bring you along, but because my camera on my phone has been broken, I haven't been able to do one of those in a long time. And that's usually how I show you the things that I decorate around my house, as I walk around with my phone. So I probably could get it fixed fairly inexpensive. I just haven't taken the time to check it out yet, so I'm going to do that. This lace takes on a little bit of a blue color, even though I think it's more gray. I'm gonna try it on here as that silvery grayish blue color. In our first house we had, I don't know, I think I've lost my energy for decorating like I used to. I used to just love redoing the walls in like a matter of hours. And these walls in our dining room were this really pretty powdery silver blue. And then we had white moldings. And so I accented it with red toile. And I absolutely loved it. And these colors kind of reminding me of that dining room that I really liked. But I'm not going to put any red accents on here. I don't think it lends itself to that. I want to keep it pretty shabby. So I'm just going to keep layering on the lace and see what else we can put on there. Oh my goodness, you guys should see me eking out every little scrap. Trying to make this with just my scraps. Because like I said, I'm trying to create with scraps. And maybe we'll call these videos my scrap and chat. Scrap, craft, and chat. Doesn't have to have a name. I'm just being silly. But I have this really fun tag, like I said, that I got out of Daphne's Diary magazine. And I want to decorate it and add it here on my box. Again, I think it'd be nice if I could tone that down a little bit, but I'm about to cover it with a bunch of stuff, so we'll see how it goes. We're just going to do a little trial and error. I'm going to hot glue this silk organza flower right here. Oops, that was my hot glue gun. I had a bunch of these gifted to me from Miss Lovely Edwina Kench. Thank you, Edwina. And every now and then I get to tuck one in, but this little cluster of them was in that bag of scraps. So I'm going to use that. And I have this this Martha Stewart chalk paint. It's just I can't find the paintbrush. I suppose I could jump up and grab one, but you know what I'll do is I'll just dot a little bit here and there and use this and blend over it. Did that help? So I cannot tell a lie, I did go grab a couple things. I went and grabbed my stickles. I think this is a new one, yeah. Which one is this? Diamond. I went and grabbed my diamond stickles, and this was just right behind me, this light powder blue trim. So I thought I would see if I can work that in somewhere. And then I have my tag here. I have, where'd that little snippet go? This, that I think I want to put that over here just because it looks sort of too papery, and I want to put something that makes it more fabric like. So I'm going to stick that there. Oh yeah, I like that there. It's a little piece of doily. And then I stuck these, I don't know what you call them, but they kind of help lift up what you're using. And I'm going to stick this tag down right there. And if I can, later I'll put maybe a sentiment there. And then I had this trim, this bridal applique that I can stick right here. That'll be pretty. And I've stopped the camera at a point where I don't even remember what we were chatting about. I'm praying you all are gonna have a wonderful Christmas. Do you all hate to see the season go? I'm a little torn about how I feel this year, of course, because of losing Mom. I don't know if I'm happy to see it go or sad. I'm typically not happy to see it go. I absolutely love Christmas. But this year maybe I'm ready to just pray for a new year, fresh start, new beginnings. I hope you all have a wonderful start to your new year as well. I'm going to stick that there. And I think I will curl this one over. Oops. Can you see this? I'm just going to bend this over the edge. See if I can get that to stick. It's funny, it's like you want either to stick quickly or not too quickly. There doesn't seem to be a happy medium. Hot glue sticks way too fast. Fabri-Tac sticks well and quick enough if you're not trying to bore people watching it dry. So that'll hold on there in a minute. But I think I need one more of these under here. And I am going to use hot glue for that one. Stick that down. So I have my little tag and the little tails from the tag. And now I think I'll just add some flowers. And I have these that I've altered a little bit. These are some blue Prima flowers. I'm not sure unless I add quite a few with white. I don't know if I want a blue one that big. I have another one. This one will be better. Yeah, and then let's see. I have this one that I can put a pretty center in. Oh, I'll put one of these chiffon ones in the center. I think that'll be pretty. Yeah, that'll be pretty, and it'll pick up on those two. So I'm just going to arrange a few little flowers to go in the center, and I think I'll be done. So I cannot tell a lie, I've been embellishing without you. I thought maybe it was getting kind of long, and I wanted to be able to wrap it up with this next little clip. So I have a little bow there. Thought I'd stick that in. And if you can see that. And then I just have these little milliner flowers that I'm going to tuck in here and there. I thought that might be a pretty spot right there for a little cluster. And I wish I could decorate with such a looseness. I guess it'll come the more I do it, but I love when people can just kind of eyeball where they want it, stick it there, and it's actually the perfect spot. I don't think I have that skill yet, but I even have that trouble with my pottery. I would like to work with a more looseness. But I am really enjoying the fabric and lace, and looking forward to another year of doing swaps and challenges. And I'm probably going to make my giveaway just a once a year thing now, but I'm still really excited about how well the last one went. And I want to do a little shout out to the friends that I've been missing. Hello, Evie. Evie followed you. She's one of my sweetest YouTube crafting friends. and isn't doing videos right now. She is on Instagram and Facebook, so I still get to keep up with you, and I'm glad about that. And my shout out to the lovely Shaz at Crafted Seasons. I think she does have a new channel now, and maybe she'll get to do some videos in the new year, but everyone's busy and has jobs and families, and so this is just an extra perk when we get to have time to come on and do videos. I love that it's been a real successful year as far as even selling some of my work, and I am going to have to get a little more on the ball with my pottery, but I don't teach again for another week, so I'm going to be working on demo projects for my classes. Hey to Linica, my sweet sister in the Lord, and always hey to Angie Paisy. And forgive me if I don't say your name, but these people are just on the tip of my tongue, and I wanted to say hi. And Miss Mary Barrett, she has no idea how much I love watching her videos and hearing her stories. I could just curl up with a cup of tea and listen to you talk all day, Mary, about different interesting subjects. And then my crafting friend, Laquita, the most exquisite crafter that I know so far. She just does everything immaculately well. I wonder if you were a teacher. I just watched her do a tutorial on beading, and I mean, just how you lay everything right in the, you're one of those I'm talking about. You just know exactly where to put something and it just works. I think that's really cool. Now here's where I get myself into trouble. I start laying on more than I should, and it starts getting a bit convoluted and overdone. So I think since this video is extremely long at this point, and I've just really enjoyed sitting and chatting with you, but if I chat much longer, this is going to go all over the place and take a direction that I'll end up not liking. And right now I kind of like how it's turned out. I think I'm going to use my stickles here, if I can get them to come out, and just maybe do a couple little last outlines, since I think I'm just going to let this sit now and dry. So, I don't know, sometimes I think, Carla, what makes you think people want to sit and watch you craft? But maybe it's because I just enjoy crafting and watching you all craft, that I feel like I'm entertaining friends while I'm working. And I do love people. I'm definitely a people person. I love family too, though, and when it's time to just have family, that's really special. So I hope you have wonderful plans for your holidays and at least a little time with family, and don't be alone. Hopefully someone will find a place for you to join them. Let me go back here. In the inside of this box, I have this one little piece of lace, and I think its home needs to be right in the bottom of this box. And it doesn't have to be super perfect, but I do want to cover this just to make the inside pretty too. I think there's a right side and a wrong side, so we'll make it this way. Just drop that down in there. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh my, this video has gotten quite long, but I'm finished. I wanted to just use up my snippets as best I can. Of course, I didn't really even put a dent in it, but it's this bag of little snippets served as some inspiration for me to create something and an opportunity to chat with you. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed visiting with you. Now I just have some cleanup to do. I think the Amazon delivery people are really busy today because my dog just will not stop barking. I had to put him outside and he's still barking. So I'm going to clean up my little mess here and get it back to Christmassy for the rest of the next couple of days. And this is what I came up with. These iPhone boxes are quite tight. But this is how it looks on the inside. Just pretty scrapbook paper and a little bit of lace. And then I did the underside as well. And then just have this little applique with the double strand of beads. And my little shabby tag with butterflies. And had I used my normal stash, I would have looked for a little butterfly to tuck in there somewhere, but it's trying to hold true to using scraps. So there was this little off the beaten path kind of flower button, so I stuck that in there. And these are the sides. And that's my finished shabby little box. So thanks for watching, everybody. Let's see if I can get this lid back on. There we go. And thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.